So this is going to be the second part of our Q&A session where I'm going to answer all the questions more advanced people are asking me. All right. So this is going to be specifically for people who already make some revenue, make some money with dropshipping generally. So let me go through the questions with you here, and after that I'm going to answer all of them. The first question is, I can only spend $50 per day on my Facebook account, and Facebook is not increasing the cap. So what should I do here? The second question is, Facebook constantly goes up and down, and I have a really good day, then I have a bad day, then I have a good day again, and it's super inconsistent. What should I actually do here? Number 3 is, I am really afraid of scaling, and even though the things are going well, I cannot just spend thousands of dollars every single day on Facebook. And I've seen exactly this mindset issue a lot of people have, which just could spend more money, but they don't. And the last one is, how do you actually discipline yourself after making a lot of money? Because it's super easy to become lazy after everything starts to work well. So let me actually go through all of those questions. The very first one is pretty simple and like straight to the point. If you have a $50 cap or whatever cap on your Facebook account and you cannot spend more money than that, what you do is you just take the bill and pay it manually in super low steps. So for example, instead of getting billed by Facebook directly like every $100, you're just going to pay 10 times $10 to Facebook, and this is going to raise the cap super quick. In a couple of days, you're actually going to be able to spend way more money on Facebook. This is just like a super quick hack, and it actually works. Question number 2. Facebook goes up and down and up and down, and nothing is really consistent. And this is really interesting to look at, because a lot of people who actually get started with the first kind of semi-winning product on Facebook, they see how they have a really good day and then everything crashes and then it basically gets up again. So what do you actually do to prevent this? Well, the first thing you have to understand is you shouldn't judge anything by a one-day basis. It doesn't really matter if you have one day which is good and one day which is bad, as long as over a 3, 5, and 7-day period, you are constantly profitable. And if you look at the whole week or 5 days, you see, all right, I am profitable, so why should I kill anything? I shouldn't kill my ad set. I should just keep going with the things I'm doing right now. And a lot of people have a super bad day and they do panic decisions. And that's the worst thing you can do. If you see something crashing on one day, you think, fuck, today's so bad, I need to kill everything as soon as possible. And you do that, and then it's over. All right? When in reality, you could have just kept it going, and over a bigger time period, you are probably profitable. Also, what you have to understand is on a lower level, if you're just making a couple of $100 per day, or like not even $1,000 per day, like really on a low level, you will have those inconsistencies constantly because of one reason, because of the odds. And I love to give this example of flipping a coin. If you're going to flip a coin 10 times, there is a chance that it's going to hit exactly 5 times heads, 5 times tails. But there are very high chances that it's not going to be exactly 5 and 5. Maybe it's going to be 7 and 3 or 8 and 2. All right? However, if you scale this and you would throw a coin 100 times or 1,000 times, you would most likely be in a range of around 50-50. Obviously, it can be like 45% this and 65% that, or whatever it is, but it's going to be a much closer rate, and the difference is just going to be so minor in comparison into having low amount of odds. Okay? Keep this in mind. If you don't spend enough money, if you just spend a couple of $100s per day on Facebook, you cannot expect it to actually be very consistent. And then on top of that, you have to judge everything on the ad set level. Obviously on Facebook you have 3 levels, campaign, ad set, ads, and you should always look at the ad set level specifically instead of just judging the whole campaign. Because if you say, all right, I'm unprofitable today, you're not even judging the whole campaign, you're judging the whole ad account, which is so big. When in reality you should actually microanalyze what's going good and what's doing bad. Because if you look at your ad set level, you're going to see that clearly there are profitable ad sets throughout the whole way. And if no, then you also have to look at, all right, but is it profitable over a bigger time period? And if yes, all good. And there is going to be other ad sets which seem pretty good because they have like a really good day, but in general, overall, like on average, it's going to be actually worse and it's going to be unprofitable. So then you have to turn those off, and that's also really important. And you have to adapt this mindset that every single time you see something on the ad set level being profitable and something else being completely unprofitable, it's a good sign, because you could kill everything which is unprofitable and you would become instantly profitable. All right? Just think about that. Like literally, if you're not profitable overall, but you have profitable things, you just kill everything else and you're profitable instantly. All right? So keep that in mind and don't leave your head hanging because you're not profitable overall. You don't even have to be in the beginning. All right. But obviously there's also cases where just nothing is profitable, nothing is working. And what you need to do there is just testing the priority list. All right, you need to test first what the most priority is. For example, testing new scroll stoppers, testing new ads, testing new offers. Then later on you can test thumbnails, different headlines, those type of things. And there's a very specific list of this priority. You should never, for example, test a different description before you test a new headline or something like that, okay? So you just have to keep in mind that there's a specific list and you have to go down that list and that's it. So the next question is, I am afraid of scaling. What should I keep in mind and what should I do here? And this is not something a lot of people ask because they don't even notice it, all right? However, I notice it and I see that they should ask this question and that's why I'm gonna answer it here. So, if you see that you are profitable and you have more than a 20% profit margin, you should spend more money. Obviously, there are some instances where you shouldn't. For example, you have cash flow issues, or every time you start to scale, everything just goes to shit. Those instances happen. However, as a rule of thumb, always, if you are consistently profitable on at least 20%, just keep going and spend more and more and more and more money gradually. Obviously, don't go crazy and spend too much too quick. However, it's very important. And what you actually have to understand is every single day you're not spending more money, you're losing out on money. For example, if you make $1,000 a day with 20% profit margins, which is going to be $200 a day, you feel like you're making profits. When in reality, let's imagine you have cash flow and everything is doing well constantly, you are losing a shit ton of money because you're not scaling, all right? If you would go from 1K to 2K or from 1K to 3K, obviously the profits could double or triple. Now, it can happen that with scaling, the margins decrease a little bit, and that's also normal. However, the profit itself, it's going to be way more. Even if you make $200 profit on $1,000 and $350 on 2K, which is the percentage is lower, but you make more profit, you're good. Now, obviously, don't go too crazy on this and just don't scale like crazy with 2% margins or 5% margins. That shouldn't be the case. It should for sure be over 15%. However, keep that in mind that the thing which actually matters is the profit, not the ratio to anything, as long as it's actual real profit and you don't calculate wrong. Because I've also seen people who just don't take into account fees, refunds, all the VA costs, all of those things are actual costs, and you need to calculate it into your profit and loss sheet, all right? So just to summarize here, every single day you are on $1,000 and you could make $350 instead of $200 in profit, you're losing $150 every single day. And this is not even something which is theory, it's reality. You could spend more money and make more, especially with products which are easy to copy. Because in a lot of the cases, you're just going to find a competitor who sees your ad and sees, all right, this guy's doing well, let me copy his everything from him, and he's going to outspend you, and then everything from your side is going to go down. And you need to capitalize on the moment where not everybody is actually copying you, where the product is not oversaturated or whatever it is. And as long as it's working right now, it doesn't mean that your product is going to work in 3-4 months. So you have to understand that as long as you don't scale today, you are going to lose out on margin because potentially in 3 months this product is going to die. Obviously there are evergreen products, and obviously there are a lot of products which you can run for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, or even more. However, you should be in this scarcity mode where you actually should fear of losing out on margin, and you should constantly scale as long as the margins are there. So the last topic I want to talk about is how do you actually discipline yourself after you start making good money? Because if we're honest to ourselves, if you make 10, 20K profit per month, you don't really need more. You could potentially live from only that money for a pretty long time, all right? You could keep doing 10, 20K per month in profit, obviously, and just start chilling. So you need to keep an eye out for this, and this is a very, very dangerous trap, which a lot of people fall into, including me at some point. If you're constantly making good money, and let's say you make $500 a day in profit, which is pretty good, you're gonna feel everything is doing really well, all right? Which on paper it is. However, if you stop putting in the work right now, you're not gonna feel it today. You're also not gonna feel it this week. However, you will feel the impact after a month, after 2 months, maybe even after 3 months, or maybe it could be hitting you after 2 weeks. However, trust me, you will feel the impact. Either you don't test enough and the product is gonna die out, or the product dies out for some other reasons and you didn't test the next product, okay? So keep in mind that it's really important to have multiple winning products at the same time. And also, if you have that, keep testing new things over and over and over and over again on the products themselves, which are already working. And then you can start with the branding things and all those things, which are actually really important as well. Also, you have to have your goals in mind, and you have to really sit down and think why you're doing the whole thing. At that point, you actually will need to sit down and really think about why you're doing the whole thing and what the goal here is. And you also have to think, all right, do I want to make the most amount of money right now? Or do I want to just chill out and make decent income? However, don't like really go hard and grind and do as much as possible, all right? And those are two different approaches. If you actually decide that you don't want to go over, let's say, 20K profit per month, that's fine. However, keep in mind, it's not going to stay passive. If you make 20K profit today or like this month, it's not going to be the case next month if you just start chilling, all right? So you will still need to keep working for it, and it's going to require effort. However, if you don't want to grow, it's going to be much easier for you, and you will actually have way more free time and will do whatever you want. But one thing which I think is extremely important is those moments where you chill or where you don't put in the work, put in that time into something which is actually worth it. Don't put in this time to just chill on Instagram and basically do bullshit, which is kind of fun, but not really super fun, all right? Either actually be there and really go hard on the business, or do something which is really fun, or is bringing other people value, and like you help other people. You're with your family, you're with your friends, or you're doing hobbies which actually are like so fun that you are getting happier through that. And I actually do understand people who say that I'm going to neglect my business and I'm going to start focusing more on the other thing, which is the fun stuff, the family things, the friends, and all of those things. I get it, it's totally fine. And if your goal is not to grow and just stay on the business level at that point, it's okay. However, if you're just going to chill on Instagram and do bullshit, I don't get it. That's not good at all, okay? If you're not gonna do super fun stuff instead of being on your business, be on your business. So this is all advice from me, which is not like directly related to dropshipping itself. However, it is very important because you're gonna go through the cycle, and I've already been through that. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you actually did, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and also if you do want to work with me one-on-one and want me to guide you through your whole process and your whole e-commerce journey, then you can click the link below, sign up for a free consultation session, and we're going to figure out if we're actually both a good fit for each other. If everything is going to sound good, we're basically going to get started. And yeah, click the link below and see you in the free consultation session.